Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to the new season of When You Don't Know podcast. If you don't know, we changed the podcast name. You can listen to the previous episode where we talk about why we did it, what this podcast episode means,
Name, you
and
mean?
what
The podcast name?
podcast name
Yeah.
means. Yes, and what we're kind of like the direction we're going towards. And also, if we don't already have one, we probably have a trailer that probably explains that as well. So just being clear, but the podcast is now called When You Don't Know. And we hope everyone is doing extremely well. Happy September. I don't know when this podcast comes out, so it's probably already is September at this point. But we're recording this September 1st. Tomorrow's our birthday. I just wanted to name that because that's pretty cool. We have the same birthday.
Which is, kind of a interesting thing.
It is interesting. It's interesting, and also God has humbled me, and I love it. I love it better now. Before I was like, why is this happening to me? But now I'm like, no, it actually works really well. And it's fun because now he's never going to forget my birthday. So that's nice.
Yeah.
God knew. So I have like a weird thing where I remember everyone's birthday from people I have not talked to in years. I birthdays are ingrained in my mind, and I do not like that, but it is what it is.
I mean, it's
Anyway,
not a bad thing. It's better to remember a birthday than to forget it.
yeah, that's true. Which I'm just remembering that I forgot to text my friend happy birthday on August 17th. Dang
Yeah.
it! Happy birthday, Emma. Yeah, dang it.
I
Anyway,
don't think she listens.
I know, but I just forgot. It's fine. So at this point, if I'm correct, this episode is coming out on the 16th. And I think this is the day before the last episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty, which has been the hype for the millennials. We are all watching.
Wait, is it the last season?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
done.
How many seasons?
3.
Okay.
Matthew has never watched the show, which is wild to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I keep seeing clips of it all the time on Instagram, and it's like, I know there's a lot of hype around it, and I'm sure it's great. I'm sure
It's just wholesome and cute.
people love it. For me, it's just hard to get into it because
You're going to get into it by yourself.
it just
either.
feels like it's like a teenage thing, and I'm not really like I don't know. It's hard for me to take that seriously, but
I get
that's
that.
me.
But I feel like this is different than like Gossip Girl. Like I couldn't get into that because I felt super teenager. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's that teenager that way.
Okay.
Because Gossip Girl or like what Pretty Little Liars,
Yeah. Oh my
or
gosh,
like
I could
things like
never
that.
get in that.
Like that's like, okay, I'm gonna say it kind of bluntly, but it's dumb teenager things.
Okay.
When like The Summer I Turned Pretty is like, it's hard for me because it is a teenager thing, but that takes itself seriously, and that's even harder for me because they take themselves too seriously.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's
We'll
me.
see.
That's
I
me.
am going to get him to watch. My brother's watching it. Like I mean, he's like caught up now, which is crazy. He just started watching it like last week with his wife, so it's funny. I think that I am going to start over. Once the show's over, I'm starting over, and Matthew and I are going to watch it.
Oh, really?
Just because, yeah.
Okay.
We can start watching it now. That's fine too. I would love that.
We are rewatching Breaking Bad, and I'm really enjoying that. So,
well, how about we watch an episode today after this?
oh my
see.
gosh.
Okay, so the reason why we're bringing this episode up or bringing that show up is because we are going. What I'm going to do, I'm trying something different today. Since Matthew has never watched the show, he does not have a team like Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad, which I will say my team. I think he knows my team, but I'll say my team at the end of this podcast for sure. And I want you to say that my team does not reflect from the relationship anxiety lens. I am just watching it as a girl and I'm just enjoying it because I'm allowed to do that. And so I have a group chat going on Instagram where people are talking and I'm like saying my thoughts, but I'm like, I'm not saying this from like an actual therapist lens. I'm just having fun because it's fun.
I think there's something to say there too, obviously, because if people have a hard time dissociating between fiction and reality, that's a big issue.
Totally. And I think it's like some people are like really taking it seriously of like, I don't know if hopefully it's not like you're picking this person for like real reason. I'm hoping it's just like fun, but some people really are. So I don't know. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal, I'm going to talk to him about who, like Jeremiah, I'm going to talk to him about Conrad. I'm not going to reveal all the information yet, but I'm just going to ask him based off of this information, which team would he be for? And then we're going to talk about it from that angle. And then I'll reveal more information. And then at the end, we'll just see like where you're at and just have fun with it. We'll talk about it more from the relationship anxiety lens today because this is a relationship anxiety podcast. I think that could be helpful and interesting because everyone's been wondering what my thoughts are, but I'm like, I'm not saying it for real because I'm just having fun. But this is my real thoughts as we talk about it. Okay. So as you know, you probably know there's like a kind of like a a love triangle aspect.
From what I understand is, okay, actually, maybe I'm completely wrong.
Okay.
But from the clips I've seen on Instagram or whatever, uh, Jeremiah. Okay, let me try to place
Okay.
people correctly. Jeremiah is the blonde guy. Was it?
It's like curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the dyed hair.
Yeah.
And Conrad is his brother.
Yes.
Okay. And then they have this girl. What's her name? Billy or something?
Belly.
Belly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So that's what I know, because I actually saw a clip this morning on Instagram.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it was Jeremiah having a argument with her because apparently she went with his brother for a second. They had something.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Okay. So background. Conrad, Belly has loved Conrad. They grew up together. They grew up together every summer. Their moms are best friends. So every summer they would go to this like on the beach. It's called Cousins Beach, and they have like this like beach house. And every summer they spend all summer together with their families. So their families are very close. She grew up with this whole family. Her and her brother grew up with their brothers all throughout her whole life, pretty much since they were like 4 or 5. And so she's loved Conrad since day one. He's the oldest brother. And in the first season, she so the summer I turned pretty. She like takes off her glasses. I don't know, her braces are off. She's like prettier, I guess. And so she's like coming into herself and like more confident and like, okay, like I can maybe like I love Conrad, like I love him, but like he doesn't notice me, whatever. We find out later in that season they actually like he does love her. He like wants to be with her. He's loved her since like beginning. That's kind of this whole thing. Like he's loved her since the beginning, but like hasn't ever like done anything because where they were just all so close. But they start dating at the end of season 1.
Okay.
So they date for I didn't even know how long, guys, but like I'm gonna say probably like 4 or 5 months. Like not super, no, maybe like because they do from the summer up until prom. So they date for almost a year. Yeah. And she yes, okay, so characters about Conrad. Conrad is kind of emotionally unavailable. If we didn't know, his mom actually has cancer, so he kind of is like holding a lot, and he takes care of the family. He's kind of the caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
So his kind of MO is that he will give up something that he wants in order to help someone else. And so he like gives up, like he keeps his secret that his mom has cancer and all this stuff.
Okay.
He like is self-sacrificing, but he's kind of brooding a little bit, kind of like he has a lot of anxiety actually. And so they date, and because he actually has a lot of relationship anxiety. If you guys don't know, he definitely has relationship anxiety. And so while they're dating, he kind of is like really into her and like they loves her and all these things, but then he also is kind of withdrawn a little bit.
Okay.
And at the end, he kind of just like freaks out, kind of like, I'm gonna hurt you later, so I might as well just end it now. And they end up breaking up.
Conrad.
Okay. Yes. So she loves him all throughout her life and like is very, very devastated they break up. But Conrad's like personality again, he's like withdrawn, he's like emotionally unavailable. They kind of like, and for the first 2 seasons, you kind of see he's just like he like will feel something but won't actually say it. Like if he like loves her, it'll take him a while to actually tell him how he feels. But like he's there, he's consistent, he listens to her, all these things. Like when he's doing well, the relationship is great. But when he's like in his head and kind of like, feeling a lot of stuff, he's kind of distant, and obviously it hurts her because she loves him so much, and like he doesn't know how to handle that. So that is Conrad. They end up breaking up. We find out actually in the first season too that Jeremiah likes Belly as well, his other brother. But she's like, hey, like I like this, but I love Conrad. Like I want to be with him. So he's like really hurt and all this stuff. So Conrad and her break up. Months later, I don't want to give it away because we're gonna watch the show, so if something happens, I'm not gonna say that. But months later, they all meet up together again. Conrad and Belly are broken up. Probably the timeline is like I think 4 months later, actually, Jeremiah and Belly start like flirting and like talking and all this stuff. They end up dating. Now, talking about Jeremiah is like fun, he's outgoing, like he's like, but he will share what he feels. Like he will tell her right away, like, I love you, like I'm not afraid to say these things. He's always available, he's very present. And they actually end up dating for 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yes. So this is the timeline of the 3rd season. They date for 4 years.
Okay.
They're having a great relationship. Things are like, honestly, like when you see it, they're kind of just like he never leaves Belly guessing. But there is something about that of like Conrad, because she loves Conrad, there's always a part of her that's like comparing their like this relationship to Jeremiah. But that is like from this information, from the surface, again, he's emotionally available, all the stuff. He's pretty stable. From this information, I'm curious like what your thoughts are. Like if you were just seeing it from that lens, what would you think?
I would think that Jeremiah is better.
Okay.
Because I would think that this is what I'm thinking. It seems like Conrad is the emotional decision, but Jeremiah is the wise choice.
Okay, for sure.
So even because I could already just from that, because I don't know anything else, it seems to me like she would just be happier with Jeremiah and not with Conrad. Even though I'm sure Conrad is not a bad guy, but he's just not available. And it seems like if she chose him, it would just be like I said, an emotional based decision.
Totally.
And that's not a good way of choosing someone that would be good on the long run.
And if we're just pausing there, I will say there is this kind of like highlighted first love idealizing thing that's happening of like
with Conrad.
Yep, like I love Conrad. I have all the butterflies with him. Like if he loved me back, it would be the best thing ever. And so it's kind of this thing where because it's his first love, we always are comparing it to your second love. When I think that a lot of people do that, where we compare our exes to what we're having now because it feels so good to be chosen by them. But the reality is they broke up for a reason, you know, and Conrad wasn't available.
Yeah.
And now it's this weird situation. Obviously, she's dating his brother. In real life, they shouldn't do that. But like the reality is she's comparing this like fantasy compared to what's actually happening. And like, if we're just putting it in this level, this is what relationship anxiety does. But if we're putting this level, I think that Jeremiah would be the good choice because he's a safe choice, but I think he's a good choice. You know what I mean? Like, there's no guessing here. He's very clear about what he wants. He's very clear that he loves her.
He seems more stable.
Yep. And like, again, like that's 4 years of dating. And like Conrad, unfortunately, was up and down. Like when he wasn't always like sharing. He wasn't very vulnerable all the time. Again, when he was good, but it kind of made, if we're putting it in that way, it kind of made it this like toxic thing where it's just like when he pulled away, she's like, she felt that. And it's like, you want someone who's consistent and always there.
Yeah.
And because there was so many ups and downs, it kind of makes that relationship feel like, oh man, it was so crazy and up, like, so when it was good, it was so good that you compare the feelings of that relationship compared to what you're actually experiencing now, which is obviously good. I'm not saying they don't have like good feelings with Jeremiah, but like there are things that she's comparing with them. I think that we do a lot of the times with our relationships now.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that I wanted to talk about and highlight before we get to more of the story, because we have so many clients talking to us about my relationship. It was good. Yes, there were some toxic things, but like it felt so good that when I'm in this relationship now, it can feel maybe quote unquote boring because it doesn't feel like super
emotional.
And sometimes that's okay.
Charged.
Yep, emotionally charged, exactly. And there is a difference with someone who's safe and good and consistent. That's a good thing. We should be able to want that over this like past relationship that felt really good, but it was up and down.
Yeah.
And we can get addicted to that cycle compared to like what's actually happening. Okay, so from that information too, after season 2, I was very much Team Jeremiah. And like, I completely understand why you say that. So just putting a little bit more information, season 3 happens. Again, we have a jump. 4 years later, they've been dating. They're in college together, all this stuff. Super exciting. There's a season where at this time period, I think it was, so school ends in May, spring breaks in March. So 2 months before, we find out that Jeremiah actually cheated on Belly.
Oh.
Yes. They broke up. They were on a break. I didn't even know. Like they kind of broke up, but not really. It was like they had a fight. He went off to spring break, had sex with a girl.
Oh, dang.
And then she found out later. He didn't even tell her. She found out from the girl unintentionally. She overheard the conversation, which is not great. And then like she finds that out, and then they end up. She's like kind of breaks up with him, and then like something happens, and then they end up coming back together. And then he proposes to her. It's super weird. They propose, and then they're getting married after she just found that out.
Okay.
And so I'm curious, just with that information, I'm curious if that, like, and he obviously is very apologetic. He felt so much shame about it. He felt so bad. He thought they broke up, but they didn't break up, all the stuff. From that information, I'm curious if that, do you think that that's okay? Do you think it's okay that they like just jump and get like, it's fine? Like, it's, can we, is that redeemable? As I guess is my question.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what the terms of the relationship was. Like, like what were they still together? Like, because you said they had a fight, but it must have been a pretty big fight then.
From his perspective, I think he thought that they broke up.
Okay, so
But
that
still,
sounds like a big fight. But obviously, I think that if it's not clear, I don't know. I would have to know I wouldn't have to know what was said in the fight because if it was clear that like in the fight that they broke up, then I can see how him doing his thing, even though obviously I'm not
like a week later after dating somebody for that long.
No, it's definitely a rebound, and it's not emotionally. It's terrible for him to do that. And obviously, I wouldn't be okay with that anyways because we're Christian, and so that is not okay. So I don't even know if I want to go there.
Right.
So I don't know if it's okay.
Sure.
I don't know if it's okay. If it's not a real breakup, then it's definitely not okay.
Sure.
If it's like a break, or if it's like
we have an argument
fight,
and then you leave
people fight,
for a
and
week.
then
Exactly.
But that's a big fight, obviously.
Yeah.
But even if it's a big fight, I just don't think that's okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it's not healthy to like rebound with someone just because you feel sad, right?
Yeah,
like,
but it's obviously not even that, because the question of health or not for me, I'm just the question of like the relationship.
Right. Well, that too.
Okay. It's not healthy that he did that. It's terrible that he did that for himself. It's a coping thing. But for the relationship, if it's not clear that they were broken up, then no, it's not good.
Totally. And that's kind of the, again, I'm not going to share, I don't want to share too much after this because I want to watch a show with you. So I'm going to leave it there.
I already know a lot.
Well, yeah, but also that comes up the first episode of like season 1. So it's like, whatever. I'm sorry, season 3, first episode. But right now, obviously that's why the big conflict, because then like, obviously Conrad, his whole 4 years, he's been loving her. He has therapy. He works through his stuff. And then like, he actually doesn't say anything to her until he finds out that his brother did cheat on her. And then he's like, well, screw that. And then he confesses his love, and she's confused and whatever. So there's this huge, obviously right now she's conflicted because it's like, do I go with the safe choice of like, obviously someone who loves me and he made a mistake, but like he's there and he's been consistent, or do I kind of like risk it all and go with someone who I've always loved and who's saying all the right things now? And so there's this huge conflict. There's this whole thing here. I'm letting you know, I'm Team Conrad. Oh my God, very clear. And we will, when we watch the show, we'll be clear about that. I'm Team Conrad from the non-relationship anxiety lens. I'm just a girl, and I just like the show, and I love the brooding, and not brooding, I'm not a typical person who like loves like the yearning, like I love you. And I don't really typically care about that, but they do a really good job in the show. And Conrad is just a good guy. But I want to talk about Conrad in the sense of relationship anxiety, because he, I think, is very relatable, and maybe that's also maybe that's a big reason why people like him, from people who follow us. A lot of people love him, and maybe it is because maybe you can see yourself in him. He was freaked out, and I think he even says in this season of, ended it because I knew eventually I would hurt you, and I didn't want to. I just wasn't in a place where I was healthy enough to date you, which is why he ended it. And he was so afraid that he was going to hurt her that he just like, in a sense, hurt her now instead of hurting her later. And there's some dynamics, like his dad. He found out his dad cheated on his mom. No one else knew. He held that, and like there's a lot of stuff. Like I don't want to be like my dad, and there's dynamics there. But I think we can talk about Conrad in the sense of this fear that a lot of people have of, I'm dating someone and I don't know the outcome. I'm just, the anxiety is telling me what the outcome could be, and I'm so afraid, so I kind of like end things before it actually happens. And I think that like, I just want to talk about that in that lens for a second of just the relationship anxiety and Conrad, because let's say Conrad like did the work and didn't let like his fear end up ending things with Belly, he would still be with her to this day, and it wouldn't have been an issue. But right now we have this thing where it's like he broke up with her, and now he has to kind of live with the ramifications of his choice.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother's dating her now. And now what are we going to do with that? And so I think we can see why it is so important to not let fear end things, because we can see the aftermath of what this decision could have been. And I think for us, people who are listening, we are in this decision now in a sense of like, what if there's a better choice? And what if I end things? And what if I regret it? And all this stuff. And I kind of want to, I guess, talk about it from that lens here of if you don't do the work, you could be Conrad. You know what I mean? Like Conrad could be what your the choice looks like, and you might end up seeing hypothetically. And I'm not saying for us to live in regret, but I'm just talking about it just from this perspective. But if we end up ending things and then we see the person that we love or we could have been with someone else, this is what it looks like, where it's like we could be sitting with that choice. And so I guess I'm curious. I know what you're going to say, but Conrad telling Jeremiah that he loved Belly. Nope, sorry. But Conrad telling Belly that he loved her after he found out that his brother had cheated. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. Like, obviously, should he have done that? Should he not have done that? Was he the freak? What tell me what your thoughts are? I'm just curious.
I don't I don't know. I think that did he talk to his brother?
Nope.
I don't know, man. I feel like he should have talked to his brother.
That's fair.
But I think that his brother also maybe like forfeited the relationship when he cheated. You know? So I think that it's obviously a show. So that's why they do that.
Right.
I think that his brother cheating was to me the end of the relationship. So does that mean that like he has the right to do whatever, like to talk to her and stuff? I think yes, but I think that he should have talked to his brother.
Have been like, why did you do that? Like there could have been a conversation there.
Yeah,
for sure.
There could have been a conversation, and obviously his brother probably would have fought back because he still wanted to be with Belly. So there would be an issue there for sure. But I understand. I guess if he's done the work and all that, I get it. If he still loves her and he feels like now he's like ready to move on in the relationship, I get it. Like he has, I guess, from a relationship like commitment or whatever covenant perspective, it seems like they're not together anymore, right?
Oh, they're still together.
Oh, they went back together.
Yeah, she said, "I'll marry you."
Ah, so they proposed. That's when he got back and proposed.
Yep, and she said yes. So they're 2 days before the wedding. I should say that. Sorry. And then he tells her he finds out at the bachelorette party.
But she knew.
She knew, but he also was like, "Why would you do that? Like you're better than that. Like dude, don't you know what I mean? Like that's not okay. Like it's like that's not you."
But she knew at that point that he cheated.
Yes, and she kind of like, we talked about it, whatever. We moved on.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's very complex. Obviously, if he wasn't dating her, he has a free right to do whatever he wants in some ways. But they are engaged like 2 days before the wedding, and he says that, which is
I don't think that's right then.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because I thought they were not together.
Oh, sorry, they are.
Okay, well if they went back together, then no, it's not right.
Yes.
And even if he found out whatever, she knew already. So
yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
And he talked to her about that. Like, did you know that? And he's like, yeah, I knew that. Because he was gonna go tell her, like, by the way, I found out that he did that.
Okay, well, like, no, I think that then I think that does he have the right to do it? Yeah, he can do whatever he wants, but I don't think he should. That changes. So that I don't think that should change anything.
That's fair.
Because I didn't have that situation, but I remember before we dated, I tried to date another girl, and that didn't work out because she just didn't want it, and I could tell it. I could tell that she was trying to want it, but she didn't want it, and so she like hurt me. So I let it go. I was like, it's fine. It's not working out. That's okay. Sure. And then I didn't want to date anyone. But then, sorry. A few weeks later, we started talking, and I was like, oh, this girl's kind of cool, and so we started hanging out and all that, and then dating. And then that other girl that I tried to date, she came back and she was basically saying that like she was jealous, and that she had like I guess feelings. And so I was like, cool. I honestly didn't change anything for me. It didn't change anything for me because I was like, no, well, I'm with her. I like her. She's cool, and she, like wants to be with me.
Yeah.
She wants to date me. And so for me, I was like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I guess for me, it's kind of the same situation in the sense of like, okay, cool. Like nothing. If you're back together, and she like accepted that he cheated on her, that's her business.
Mm-hmm.
If she's okay with that, but if they are in a relationship, they're engaged, then I don't think it changes anything.
Yeah. And I will say this too. I was walking with my friend today and we were talking about it again from like the therapeutic lens. She finds out this information that Conrad like loves her again or still loves her or never stopped loving her. And she shuts him down, which I will say good for her. Again, not from Team Conrad's lens, but from like reality. Like she says like, no, like she pretty much says like you, and she wasn't being truthful, but she was just trying to shut him down of like, no, like, we dated for like 4 months. I dated him for 4 years. Like you don't have anything that we have. She wasn't being truthful. Apparently to the book, she actually was thinking something else, but she was telling him like, no, I'm marrying him. I'm marrying your brother. You had your chance and you blew it. So forget it. And even even on the day of the wedding, his conversation with Jeremiah, long story, like he freaks out because he finds out that Conrad said that, whatever. But she says like, I still have love in my heart for Conrad, but I'm choosing you, which I think is very beautiful. I think that in reality, if we're talking about it from this lens, love is a choice.
I saw that scene.
You saw that? Okay. Dude, stop cheating.
No, but I think I saw it when you were watching it or something.
Oh, maybe I did, but I was putting on this big screen. But I think that there's something about that where it's like, okay, you can still be thinking about, hypothetically, let's just say you might have like a dream about your ex. It doesn't mean you like them or anything. It doesn't mean anything. You might still care about someone that you dated in the past. Does not mean that you still love them. It does not mean that you still have to choose them or need to be with them. You know, you're choosing this person you're with now. And there's something I think that was very powerful here that she said of like, I'm choosing you. You and I walked through so much together. We've been dating for 4 years. Like, I want you and I'm choosing you. And I know that, and they're trying to make it kind of in the sense of like she's like very codependent. That's what they're kind of painting it in the show. But there is, I wanted just to extract that of like, there's something really powerful about that of it is a choice and you do get to choose who you're with no matter what your mind tries to play up like, oh, you still love this person. Like she's been dating this guy for 4 years. You know what I mean? Like it's been so long. She built a whole different life with someone new. And the reality is that her love, if she would have said yes to him, and let's just say that the reality is like they probably have to cut off that brother because that's pretty toxic that he would do that if we're being real. If, you know,
Conrad?
Yeah, they would have to cut him off. But like the reality is if she would have chose him and he was confident and like and been like, yep, okay, it's okay that you still like you still think about him. I'm sorry, might have love for him, but you are choosing me and that's enough. They would have been able to have a good marriage and I think it would have been fine. And I think it would have been like great. But it's a show and we like dynamics and like again, we love I as a girl, it's fun to watch different things because it's not real to me. You know what I mean? I can separate reality from truth. Not everybody can, but I can. And so I think that there's something about that. But I think that is, I thought that was a powerful scene because we can see this dynamic of what can go on in our mind of like, I'm still thinking about this person. Does that mean something? But it's like, no, I can let that go and choose this person right in front of me because this is safe. This is actually real. This has been consistent. Besides that, cheating. Again, we have to erase that for a second because I'm talking about it from a real relationship that's not that weird dynamic. But like you can choose what's in front of you because we can actually predict what that's going to look like in the future compared to this past love that you had 4 years ago that lasted for like 7 months or whatever, however long it lasted for. You know what I mean? Like that we can't actually risk something that isn't actually attainable or real now besides what we've fantasized what it was compared to what's right in front of us now. And so I think that there's so many dynamics that we can actually look at for real in this show that I think are, I don't know. I'm excited to watch it with you because I think it's just fun to watch a show like this and not like,
like I already know everything.
Oh, there's so much I didn't share.
Yeah.
So much.
You said you're Team Conrad though.
I am.
Interesting.
I know, I am. Okay, everyone who watched the show, everyone in my chat group, they're all Team Conrad. All of them.
Yeah, but are they Team Conrad because it's emotional decision?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's not fair. If it was real life, what would you
Oh,
do?
if it was real life, I would not be Team Conrad. I
Oh,
should make that clear. Okay, I'm sorry. From a girl, I'm Team Conrad. From a therapist level, I am not Team Conrad.
from a just a pure like story telling, whatever, like fictional standpoint, you're a Team Conrad. But
Yes.
for
For
because I
real.
think that's the issue though.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because people, and honestly,
That's true.
if you are Team Conrad
Please say it's
because
not
it's
real.
emotional, like, okay, that's fine. But if you are saying that like in a real life you would be choosing that, then
Mm.
that's probably why you're having relationship anxiety issues.
Yes, 100%.
Because that's another thing we've talked about. But like, honestly, if that's a thing that people are struggling with because they think that like your relationship has to be like what's on TV,
Yeah.
then no. Like, you need to really redefine whether a healthy relationship is,
Yeah, that's true.
because that's not okay. And yeah, I don't know. I just hope I hope that people are not like
I
that,
see what you're saying.
and I know
Yeah.
people are like that,
That's a good
and
point.
that's just terrible.
Yeah.
That upsets me, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, because you need to grow up. You need to grow up. If that's how you are, you need to grow up.
There's a scene in the show too. I think it's the second season where her parents are divorced too. There's a lot of dynamics, whatever. Okay. But she's talking about how her parents she never saw like her parents have butterflies or whatever, and she's like talking about like how like I don't know if I could be with someone I didn't have butterflies with. She said that. And then later on in the episode scene, he's like, just letting you know, I always have butterflies with you or something like that. Whatever. And I'm like, okay, I know this is a show, but I'm really hoping people don't think like that's actually real life,
Yeah,
because we can get caught in this trap very easily. Because and again, I'm hoping we're Team Conrad because it's just fun. I'm hoping you're not Team Conrad because that's what you would actually choose, because that's not real. Remove the cheating for a second. That's not
there's
that would
so
not,
many.
you would break up with someone who would cheat on you, obviously,
I
right?
feel like
It's
there's so
not
many
real.
movies where people make emotional decisions,
Right.
and
Like
that,
The
or
Notebook.
series. Yeah, exactly.
The
That's
Notebook, I
stupid.
watched it again on the plane, and I literally was like, "Oh, this is not. I can't even be on Noah's side. I'm 100% on the other guy's side. I don't remember his name. I don't even know if I know his name, because he's a good man and he actually like loves her, and he's like, if you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But I'm here. I'm not going to try to make you. I'm not going to make you force you to make a decision. But he was like he gave her everything she wanted, and also like was here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's wild. And I didn't know Noah loved her too, but they haven't dated in so long. Again,
Anyways,
not important. That's not what the show's about. But I will say again, I'm in this chat group. As I said, I made a disclaimer in the chat from day one of like, this is not my real thoughts. I am just having fun. This is just purely fun. We can send memes and all that. This is not at all indicative of how I really believe or think on relationships. However, I posted on my story at this point, maybe 2 weeks ago, whenever this podcast comes out, and I was talking about potentially doing like a movie TV like club, and seeing like if we actually were doing this for real, you would get my real thoughts, and we could actually talk about it like from the like dynamics that show up in a relationship, and like be able to talk about it from a relationship anxiety lens and challenge some ideas and like things. I thought it'd be really fun. I got a lot of responses. People were really interested in that. And so
that's good.
by this time, this club is already going on. I'm gonna send messages today in real time, so September 1st, to those who sent messages, and we're gonna do that. But it's right by this time. This club's already going on, but it's a club where we're gonna be watching either a TV show together or a movie together. We'll have a call once a month. We'll have a chat group, and we will be again challenging the themes that show up in real life shows or movies that might trigger relationship anxiety. And we actually can talk about it in this club, and you'll get my real thoughts, and we can talk about like what TV love looks like and what real love actually looks like, and be able to kind of like dive into those themes. And I think it's really fun. The club is $5.99, so it's really low. Just again, like really easy access to join. There will be a link by this time this episode comes out. There will be a link on how to join, just letting you know. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be really fun. Again, I could be not just a girl. I can watch some shows I like or movies I've enjoyed watching, but we can talk about it for real and be like why we actually can't be Team Conrad. You know what I mean? Like how this is actually destructive and destroying maybe your perspective on real love and what real love actually looks like, because you're seeing it from a fantasy lens, and we can talk about it for real. And so anyway, I'm excited about that. The link will be below on how to join, all of the information on that. This was fun. I actually really enjoyed doing this with you because it was fun to talk about it from you. Because I know what you would think. I know you, and I know that like how you think is how I really would think. But I'm thinking about it from not real lens. It's just fun, but not everybody sees it as fun. They see it for real, and that's actually where maybe the concern can come from. I hope you watch the show with me.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll watch an episode after this.
We'll see. No.
One.
But okay, I have things to do.
But during lunch.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll talk. See. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked this, let me know, and maybe we can do more like this, because Matthew doesn't always watch shows with me. If he thinks they're like again like this, he's watching.
Okay, because first of all, there are shows that I watch that are like girly show. I don't know how to define
like
this.
What? I'm trying to remember.
Emily in Paris.
But that's like not love at all. That's just like a fun show.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right.
There's love stuff in there all the time.
You're right.
I love Emily in Paris.
I love that you love that. Okay, that's true.
I'm Team Gabriel.
Gabriel's really? Gabriel's like so up and down.
Sorry. The last season he was kind of annoying, but also I know that in real life, like the actor said he doesn't like the way they've been treating his character.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen in the next season. I know there should be, I think, a love triangle, because I think you didn't want to be in that next season in Rome, but I think that they decided to like do something else with his character that was like, okay, I'll do it then. So
probably give him good money.
I think they're not rid of him yet.
We'll see.
Because I like the Italian guy too. He's great. He seems like a great guy. We'll see.
I'm excited for the next season. I think they're filming now, so we'll see.
But maybe that feels less teenagery to me because they're older.
And I think because it's Europe, and I think you're like, oh, they speak French.
There's maybe
humor that you like. I think it's fun to watch with you.
The guy with the gray hair is funny.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'll be more shows, and maybe as we are doing it in the movie club too, I will bring up dynamics as well if you haven't seen it, and maybe we'll do the same thing, or we'll both watch it and we'll talk about it as well. But if you liked this type of concept or this type of like episode, let us know. Put a review, DM me, let me know what your thoughts are, and we can maybe do more episodes like this. But this was fun. So if you like this episode, don't forget to share it, write a review, do all the things. And we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.